So working with this idea of k squared, and k cubed is the focus of this section. And there's really two kinds of problems we can ask you. We can ask you in the homework to find k squared, and k cubed, or we can ask you to use k squared, or k cubed to find a length, a surface area, or a volume. So you need to really be sure that you're reading the directions. So the first set of directions says find the scale factor, that's k, then find the ratio of surface areas and the ratio of volumes. These directions are asking you to find k squared, and k cubed. It is not asking you to find the surface area or find the volume. So to find k, pick any two corresponding values. So k is equal to 40 over 80, which reduces to 4 over 8, which reduces to 1/2. We always reduce our fractions. The ratio of surface areas is going to be k squared, so I square the numerator and square the denominator, 1/2 squared. To find k cubed, I take that value of k and I cube it, cube the top and the bottom, and I end up with 1 over 2 cubed is 8, not 6. 2 times 2 times 2. So this right here is your answer. Again, pick any two values that correspond. So here, maybe I'll pick 21 and 70. So k is 21 over 70, which has a common factor of 7, and so it reduces to 3/10. So then k squared, ratio of areas, would be 9 over 100, square the top and the bottom. K cubed, 3 squared is 27. 10 squared is 1,000. And we do always report these as fractions. So get comfortable using the fraction key on your calculator or working these numbers by hand. The next set of instructions that you might encounter are these. So the scale factor is given. So you know k right here. Then now I am going to ask you to find the surface area, actual value, and find the volume, actual value. So two problems here. So these are a significant number of points. So remember, when I want surface area, surface areas compare at a value of k squared. So when I go to calculate surface area, I don't use k in my cross multiplying. I have to use k squared. So I have 1 over 81 will be equal to, the smaller figure is given, so that goes on top. Use surface area, 3 over the one I don't know. Cross multiply, A is equal to 81 times 3. And so my surface area of my new figure is 243 meters squared. I don't have to have the dimensions. I don't have to have the picture. If I know the scale factor and I know the surface area of one, I can find the surface area of the other. The volume, remember volume varies by a factor of k cubed. So I take 1 over 9 and I cube it. And so I have 1 over 9 cubed is 729. And that is equal to 23 over the volume I don't know. When I cross multiply, the volume is 729 times 23. And so my volume of my second figure is 16,767 meters cubed. The key to doing these is making sure that you use k cubed when you set up your proportion to cross multiply for volume, and that you're using k squared when you set up your surface area to cross multiply. Okay, so always be very clear if you're using k squared, or k cubed in your proportion. So let's look at the next example. So 7/8 is k. surface area, I have to use k squared. So when I square 7/8, I have 49 over 64. So my surface area is going to be 49 over 64 is equal to 882 over the area I don't know. Now I know that the 882 goes on the top because the smaller figure is given. That is the smaller number. I'm comparing small to large. When I cross multiply here, I end up with 49a is equal to 882 times 64. And so my area ends up being 1,152 yards squared. When I start over and I do the same thing for volume, I have to use k cubed. And so when I cube 7, I get 343. And 8 cubed is 512. That's what I use in my proportion. So I have 343 over 512 is equal to 4,802 over the volume I don't know. When you cross multiply and divide that, you'll end up with your volume being 7,168 yards cubed. Again, we should expect it to be larger. Use your math sense. It should be larger than this one because we are increasing. We know the smaller. We're finding the larger. The last kind of problem that we work with is a little bit more complicated. It takes more steps, and you just have to be clear in both your thinking and what you're writing. So always, always, always label what you know and what you're finding out. Don't just willy-nilly write things down or you'll lose track of where you are. In this case, I give you two values. I'm either going to give you two surface areas or I'm going to give you two volumes. If you know two surface areas, surface area compared to surface area, that gives you k squared. So in these last examples, we gave you k. Now we're giving you k squared, but I need, so this is what I know, but I need k cubed to find volume. So remember that little table I gave you. Oops. Right here, if I, in this case, know k squared, I can't get straight to k cubed. So I have to take the square root to find k and then cube it to find k cubed. So another hint, always reduce fractions. So I know k squared is 19 over 475. Always, always, always reduce before you try to take the square root, because when you reduce 19 over 475, you get 1 over 25. These will always reduce to perfect squares or perfect cubes. If you try to put the square root of 19 over 475 into your calculator, you're going to get a decimal, which is not going to help you. If I know k squared is 1 over 25, I can take the square root of 1 over 25 to find k. So the square root of 1 is 1. The square root of 25 is 5. Now that I know that, then I can cube it to find out it's 1 over 125. Now I can set up my proportion. I could say 1 over 125 is equal to 11 over v, and I can cross multiply, and I can find out that my volume is 1375 feet cubed. So the hard part is up in here and figuring out what do you know, what do you need, and how do I change what I know into what I need. So here I give you two volumes. which means you know k cubed. But I want surface area, so I need k squared. So let's set up a proportion of k cubed. So I know k cubed is equal to 6144 over 96. Two volumes compared gives me k cubed. Reduce that fraction. That reduces to 64 over 1. Now, to find k, because again, I can't go straight to k squared, so I have to come out to k. I'm going to take the cube root of 64 over 1. So square rooting is looking for perfect squares. Cube rooting is looking for perfect cubes. So either going to use your calculator, or you're going to say, well, I know that 64 is 4 cubed, and 1 is a perfect cube, perfect 5, 1 is unique. The cube root of something cubed cancels, so the cube root of 64 is 4, cube root of 1 is 1. So that's what k is. So then it's easy to say that k squared is 16 over 1, square top and bottom. Once I know that, I can set up my proportions. So I know that 16 over 1 is equal to 960 over A, because I'm finding a missing area this time. And when I cross multiply and divide, I end up with my area being equal to 60 centimeters. Woo, crazy pen. Centimeters squared. So just the key to being successful here is to know what you're given and then get to what it is you need for your proportion. If you try to find surface area with k cubed, you will not get the right answer because it is the wrong relationship between those units of measure. Good luck on your homework.